Bina. All right, it's officially broadcasting. I wanted to thank everyone. First of all, I wanted to thank Fall Creek, Wisconsin for being a risk taker and going on this journey with us, because this is definitely taking a risk. When I contacted the superintendent out there and Miss Loeb, Penny taking that risk with me and going through this experience, and your students as well, what an amazing experience and opportunity for our kids. And I also want to thank the judges for taking time out of your day, because I know you all have busy lives in the schools that you're in. And I also want to thank the moderator. We're going to have a moderator with us that runs the debate today. He's one of the assistant principals here at South Orange Middle School. His name is Mr. Jennings.
James.
And if the judges right now could introduce themselves to both schools. We'll start with Miss Malaspina.
Hi, I'm Miss Malaspina. I am the supervisor of technology in Parsippany, New Jersey, and I used to be the librarian at South Orange Middle School.
Moving on to Pennsylvania.
Hello, my name is Gwen Pascatori. Again, I am a mom of 3 and the PTO president for our elementary and our middle school.
Moving on to South Jersey.
Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Santilli. I'm the lead learner at the William Davies Middle School in Mays Landing, New Jersey, grades 6 through 8. And we are about 10 minutes outside of Atlantic City, just to give you an idea where we're at in South Jersey.
Hi, my name is Tony Sinanis, and I'm the lead learner here at Kaniag Elementary School in Jericho, New York, which is on Long Island, a suburb of New York City. And we are a K-5 school, and we're really excited to hear this debate, because standardized testing is something I feel very strongly about.
Thank you. For Wisconsin, if I can just remind you, when you're not speaking, if you could hit the mute button so it doesn't pick up the voices and flip the screens. So only have the microphone on when it's your turn to deliver a part.
Thank you, we will.
So this is South Orange Middle School. It's my class, Ms. Butler's class, 6th grade students. It's my 3rd period. And if you want to introduce your side in Wisconsin.
This is my 6th grade language arts class, and we're very excited. This is the first time that we've done a debate live.
So we're going to get started with the debate. I'm so excited, and I want everyone to realize before we start, even though I'm a competitive person, that's not the whole purpose. It's not the whole purpose of the debate. It's for the whole aspect of debate, research, and argument. And this experience is very important. It's not who wins or loses. It's going through it and having that whole aspect of being able to research a topic, which is a primary source, and in a primary source, and being able to supply evidence and then back your evidence. That's the whole purpose of this, and having the opportunity to have speaking in front of a different audience. So it's not who wins or loses, and good luck to both sides. So you can officially start.
Okay, good morning.
Can you hear Wisconsin?
I'm sorry?
Can you hear Wisconsin?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm Mr. Jennings. I will be your moderator today, and we're going to start off with round 1 with the introductions of the schools and your opening statements. Again, I want to welcome Fall Creek, Wisconsin, and you will have 2 minutes. In South Orange Middle School, you will get up and present your opening statements, and you have 2 minutes to do such. I will let you know when you have approximately 30 seconds remaining.
Can you imagine 1,322 people in Fall Creek, Wisconsin not having the same access to an education because of their zip code? Better yet, imagine a child in the poorest city in America, Sebring, Florida, where the median household income of $32,811 dictates the way they learn, their curriculum, and their access to valuable teachers.
Standardized testing and standardized standards are how education is defined. Albert Einstein once said, "Education is not received, it is achieved."
Experts make evident that standardized testing holds schools, teachers, and students accountable. Standardized testing has a positive effect on student achievement, and standardized testing helps to compare students from across states and from across district factor groups.
It's about that time that public schools are finally entering the modern age. They are joining the world of police officers, doctors, athletes, the world to improve decision making.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we will have our opening statement from Fall Creek, Wisconsin. And you two have 2 minutes, and I will let you know when there's 30 seconds remaining.
We believe state testing is not necessary for our schools and should not be a part of them. All of our reasons consist of accurate information. The billion-dollar testing industry is notorious for making costly and time-consuming scoring errors. Another is that it creates a lot of stress between educators and students. They are also an unreliable measure of student performance, such as a gifted student who takes this test may think the tests are boring and may not do as well as an average student. Also, open-ended questions on standardized tests are often graded by underpaid temporary workers with no educational training. Standardized testing has not improved student achievement. Standardized tests are unfair and discriminatory against non-advanced English speakers and students with special needs. Is it worth it? All in all, we believe state testing is not necessary for our schools.
Okay, we're going to move to the second round with the first pro reason. South Orange, again, you have 2 minutes to present.
In order, not in order.
Can schools be held accountable without standardized testing? Without the No Child Left Behind Act, would education equality even be possible? How do we hold teachers accountable to the same standards without standardized testing? My language arts teacher may decide to give a multiple choice test on the memorization of vocabulary words compared to another language arts teacher that assesses children based on project-based inquiry learning.
The most paramount benefit of standardized testing is that teachers and schools are responsible for teaching students the required knowledge for these tests in the most objective and least questionable manner.
According to the State Board of Education, the data derived from the assessment will be utilized by teachers and administrators to pinpoint areas of difficulty and customize instructions accordingly.
Operating a stream public education system requires measures of accountability to ensure that all students learn certain basic skills and concepts, while educators and institutions must perform according to certain measurable standards.
Thank you.
Okay, at this point, Fall Creek, you will have 1 minute for a conferral period, and then we'll go into your rebuttal.
So you have 1 minute to confer right now.
I don't know how. I'm afraid to touch anything.
I'm preparing for the state for the standardized tests that they don't focus on the minor subjects. And that really share that
Okay, we're ready.
All right, go, Mr. Jennings.
Okay, the conferral period is over. Fall Creek, you have 1 minute to give your rebuttal, and then we'll move on from there.
Teachers focus so hard on preparing students for state tests that they forget to prepare them for broader subjects for later in life.
Wait, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we're going to move to round 3, the con side of the first pro reason. Fall Creek, you have 2 minutes.
All students take the same state test, which is unfair. Students, even in the same grade, are all at different skill levels. Lashane Wang has a PhD in educational psychology from the University of Illinois and put on a study about state tests. She found that making lower-level students take the same test as higher-level students is unfair and allows lower-level students to easily fail. Non-English speakers are also forced to take the same test as English speakers. Kids that have special needs also take the test and are not given the accommodations that are given in their individual educational plans. Are we really going to discriminate against this large percent of our population? Is this who we are?
Okay, thank you very much, Fall Creek. All right, at this point, South Orange, you will have a 1 minute conferral period, and then you will have a 1 minute to have your rebuttal. Okay, this is South Orange's opportunity to rebut. We have 1 minute. Go.
Some people may think that one test, one day a year, is unfair. We argue that prior to 1999, this statement could have been true because the multiple choice bubble tests were completely narrow and absolutely provided us with no driving data. According to our interview with Assistant Commissioner of Education in NJ, Barry Elrichson, it is more than a test score. It is a data point for a child, but we will not follow in the footsteps of other states, such as New York State, where a student test score dictates the possible of retention. We will always look at the whole child to make important decisions. Standardized testing in New Jersey diagnosed what we are doing well as schools and teachers in uniform and us we need to improve upon. This is a misconception that all standardized tests are high-stake tests on one day determining the livelihood of child is false. We cannot.
You're in round 4.
Okay, thanks, South Orange Middle School. We have round 4 with a second pro reason. In South Orange, you have 2 minutes to present your case.
Second reason?
Education advocate Diane Ravitch advocated in Times Magazine, "No one wants to be tested. We would all like to get our driver's license without answering questions about right-of-way or showing that we can parallel park a car." Future lawyers, doctors, and teachers probably wish they could join the profession without taking an exam, which is equivalent to strong building blocks for life.
Picture this. 2 different kids from 2 different states are learning the same things. A girl from East LA and a boy from the Bronx are coming out of high school with the same knowledge and ready for college. Standardized tests make this possible that students are properly educated to go to college. Academic achievement. New Jersey's Department of Education says parents and students can utilize to enhance foundational knowledge in a student's achievement. ARC assessments will include item analysis, which we all know we have to hold our students to the highest standards, and it's clearly evident in our school districts and by former Secretary of Education Margaret Spellings. The achievement gap between rich and poor and black and white is no longer treated as a sad fact of life, but now as a problem to be solved.
Okay, South Orange Middle School. At this juncture, we're going to go to the conferral period with Fall Creek. You have 1 minute to go over your ideas, and then you'll have your rebuttal.
Also, do they say those terms are the most correct? Did you say they say I guess what did they say about parents? Really?
Okay, Fall Creek, it is now your opportunity to give your rebuttal. You have 1 minute.
Older students do not take NCLB mandated standardized tests seriously because they do not affect their grades. An English teacher at New Mexico's Valley High School said in August 2004 that many juniors just had fun with the test, making patterns and filling the answer in with the bubbles. Christmas tree designs were popular, so were battleships and hearts.
Okay. Okay, we're going to move on to round 5, and we're going to start with the Conside Second Pro. Fall Creek, Wisconsin, you have 2 minutes. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they have 2 minutes.
Okay, yes, you have 2 minutes.
Standardized testing causes severe stress in younger students. According to education researcher Gregory J. Cizik, anecdotes abound illustrating how testing produces gripping anxiety in even the brightest students. It makes young children vomit or cry, or both. On March 14, 2002, the Sacramento Bee reported that test-related jitters, especially among young students, are so common that the Stanford 9 exam comes with instructions on what to do with the test booklet in case a student vomits. Jacksonville mother found it surprising last week when her daughter came home from Holiday Hill Elementary in tears, hyperventilating over her Florida Comprehensive Assessment test.
Okay, at this point, South Orange, you have a 1 minute time to confer, and after that, it will be followed up with your rebuttal. All right, folks, they're ready. Okay.
The less research side may focus on stress, but clearly through our interview with the Assistant Commissioner of Education in New Jersey, Barry Ehrlichson, we should do our best and forget the rest. Speaking in class is stressful, such as for this debate. Group work is stressful for some students, but we still persevere because education should always challenge us. In real life, when we graduate from college and get a job, deadlines are all about stress. State tests are great for reality and help prepare people for real life. Standards are a first step, a key building block in providing our young people with a high-quality education that will prepare them for success in college and beyond. We should never shy away from a challenge such as rigorous standardized tests. We must learn to manage our stress, persevere from the academic challenges, recover, building stamina for life. And the best place for this is school. Do you really want to be that state that doesn't challenge our students, such as the state of Mississippi, that before adopting the PARCC and the Common Core state standards, that 90% of students pass their easy bubble test? I think not.
Okay, we will be moving on to round 6. This is going to be the third pro region. South Orange, you have 2 minutes to present.
A child miseducated is a child lost, President John F. Kennedy once said. We can't afford to lose another brilliant young mind. Standardized testing gives us an opportunity for students to be compared with other students. Without common standards, it is difficult to compare grades across students, teachers, and schools. All children, no matter race, where they are from, or no matter their socioeconomic background, have the rights to adequate and equal education. Those standardized standards and standardized testing challenge teachers and schools to do more than just minimum requirements.
Standardized tests allow students to be compared between states. This allows different students with different zip codes to be compared in a fair and accurate way. According to Columbia University, standardized tests give parents a good idea of how the children are doing compared to students across the country and locally. Also, according to Derek Meter, a teacher, principal, and education blogger, standardized tests allow students in various schools, districts, and even states to be compared. Without standardized tests, this comparison would not be possible.
Most parents like to see how their children are doing compared to other students around the globe. With standardized testing, parents have this opportunity. District factor groups also allow us to compare state tests. Barack Obama even said himself, we have an obligation and a responsibility to be investing in our students and our schools. We must make sure that people who have the grades, the desire, and the will must make must make sure that they receive the best education possible. Being able to accurately compare data is invaluable and is the major reason that the Common Core state standards have been adopted. This will allow for a better comparison between states. Trust us, the practice of standardized testing is not going away anytime soon. So the pros outweigh the cons. So obviously the pros outweigh the cons, and we should embrace it, right?
Okay, this will be the conferral period for Fall Creek, and you have 1 minute.
Time. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Just right.
Okay, Fall Creek, you prepared to give your rebuttal? You have 1 minute to give your rebuttal.
Employing standardized achievement tests to a certain educational quality is like measuring temperature with a tablespoon. Tablespoons have different measurement mission than indicating how hot or cold something is. Standardized achievement tests have different measurements mission to indicating how good or bad school is. Standardized achievements should not be used to make compare interpretations that they were intended to provide. And also, a 2010 College of William and Mary study found American scores on the Torrance test of creative thinking have been dropping since 1990. The researcher Kyoung-hee Kim lays part of the blame on increase in standardized testing. If we neglect creative students in school because of the structure and the testing moment, then they become underachievers.
Okay, we're moving down to round 7. We're doing the con side of the third pro. Fall Creek, you have 2 minutes to present.
The billion-dollar testing industry is notorious for making costly and time-consuming scoring errors. NCS Pearson, which has a $254 million contract to administer Florida's comprehensive assessment test, delivered the 2010 results more than a month late, and their accuracy was challenged by over half of the state's superintendents. After errors in distribution problems in 2004 and 2005, Hawaii replaced test publisher Harcourt with American Institutes for Research, but they later had to regrade 98,000 tests after students received scores for submitting blank test booklets.
Okay, South Orange, you have your 1 minute period to confer and get your ideas together for your rebuttals. All right, South Orange, what do you have? 1 minute.
In a certain sense, however, they are instruments for measuring student proficiency in the state of New Jersey, a mirror image of the Common Core state standard. And as the top leaders in the business world know, President Obama, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates advocate or advocated for, measuring something is often the best way to maximize or improve it. Economist Dan Ariely of Duke University has said, and I quote, "CEOs care about stock value because that's how we measure them. If we want to change what they care about, we should change what we measure." If an exam effectively gauges a student's mastery of English language arts in the area of argument writing, then teaching the test is simply a matter of helping that student develop that knowledge. Teachers and advocates on the less research side who may feel that it's best to ignore something essential should commit to fixing the content of the test, not condemning the entire practice of testing. According to Assistant Commissioner of Education, Barry Ehrlichson, standardized testing creates opportunity, equity, and high rigorous expectations for all students.
All right.
Okay, we're down to round 8 where we're going to do our closing statements. Fall Creek. Fall Creek, you have time to do 2 minutes to do your closing statements.
As I said in my opening statement, standardized tests are unfair measure of student performance. Look around. You're all different in your own ways. We all need our own special needs. We need to be challenged in ways that fit our needs. So why are kids with special needs taking the same tests that people are that are average? Why we get treated like robots who are all the same? Albert Einstein once said,
Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid.
Okay, South Orange, this is your opportunity to give your closing statement. You have 2 minutes.
Quoted by former President George W. Bush himself, "You don't know unless you measure." Every excuse has been given about measurement. We're testing too much. Teachers are teaching the test. We shouldn't test. If we don't test, what is your system? You could be against anything in life, but without a solution, we are failing our kids. Without testing and accountability of academic achievement, we continue to shuffle kids through, and that is clearly unacceptable.
It's offensive and unacceptable to quit on a kid early. We must measure to determine where students are academically, and we must compare districts and compare states. We've argued, demonstrated, that, oh goodness, okay. Yes, we've argued, demonstrated, and established that standardized tests are advantageous and crucial because students and teachers are being assessed because it has a positive effect on students' achievement, and we are able to compare districts and schools across states and even countries.
Standardized testing is the base of all success. We will never have a perfect evaluation system, but the careful use of student test scores to evaluate teachers can improve the quality of instruction, the quality of teachers, and the quality of learning in American public schools. Isn't this what everyone wants?
I want to thank everyone. Hands down, I'm so proud of both schools. I'm proud of my students. I'm proud of your students. Such an amazing experience. And these are skills that you don't just need for school. I always start this unit off by saying to my students, how many of you have ever been in an argument with your parents? And I always say to them, how many of you have had your parents say to you, because I said so? Now you have the skills when you're, I'm not saying to go home and argue with your parents, please don't quote me on that. But now if you're in a situation where you need to get your point across, you have the arguing skills. You always need a reason, you always need evidence, and you always need to verify your evidence. Hands down, kudos to Fall Creek, Wisconsin. Kudos to my judges. Thank you so much for giving us time for this experience. Kudos to the moderator, the assistant principal of our school, Mr. Jennings, and kudos to my students. Thank you so much. Did Fall Creek want to say anything?
We just wanted to thank you for this opportunity as well. We've never done anything like this before, and it really pushed us outside of the box for us today, and we really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Mrs. Butler.
And do any of the judges want to say anything?
I just want to say that both of you guys did an amazing job. I have personal views on standardized testing, but I was, both sides did great job on their arguments. You could tell that everybody was prepared and spent a lot of time on this, and I know that this is something you guys will never forget. I am extremely impressed with both schools. Good job.
I agree with Mrs. Malaspina. I have very strong opinions about standardized testing, but you guys did a great job presenting both sides of the argument and rooting your arguments in research and evidence, and that's really important with any discussion or debate that someone has. So great job. And for those of you in Fall Creek, I think you need to tell Dr. Sanfilippo that that's a fire hazard hanging from your ceiling. I'm not sure, but if your superintendent really loved you, stop chasing crickets and fix the fire hazard. Just saying.
I would agree.
But we love him. I'm just kidding. You know that, right?
I also wanted to just give kudos to both teachers in Fall Creek and South Orange. This is exactly what I look for in my classrooms every single day. You took risks. You hit a home run with this, and you know, we all may have personal views on standardized testing. Joe is finally there to fix the fire hazard, it looks like. That's great. However, I just wanted to say every student was engaged. There was a lot of research done, and let's face it, this was really a cognitively complex task that you really hit out of the park. So great job, everybody.
Bravo, everyone. Just a quick kudos. Everyone said everything. You were wonderful, and I could have used you last night when we were talking to our school board. So, but bravo, and you impressed my kids who kind of peeked in.
If anybody from South Orange, you know, would like to go and talk at the school board meeting on the 23rd, you can. But I personally think you should, you know, take some of Wisconsin's arguments and the school board. But I am, you know, there is a school board meeting on the 23rd, so you guys can go and talk there.
Thank you so much. I'm going to stop the broadcast unless anyone else has anything to say. No? You guys just thank you?